Welcome, everybody, back here at Veil of Sound for one of our last July interviews. And I'm very, very happy to have somebody here with me on the show who not only sports the same wonderful hairstyle as I do, but whose band is going to release new music after 6 long years this upcoming Friday. So I'm very, very happy to have Greg Kubacki from Car Bomb here on the show. So thanks for joining, Greg.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
It's wonderful to have you. The first thing that we always do is we'll give our guests a little moment to think about which friends, bands, or other band they would like to plug here. I want to plug something, a band that I think is a little underappreciated, and that is Sectioned. The main band by most of those guys, Frontier.
Frontier,
is
pretty rad.
Yeah, but I hear not enough people talk about Section, so we have to change that. Would you like to plug some other band?
I know there's some obscure electronic musician I like to plug is Alexi Perala. I've been really stuck on his stuff lately. He does like atonal technical stuff that just totally blew my mind when I heard it. And I don't know, I've been stuck on that. So I always encourage people to try that out and see if they can expand their horizons a little bit.
And as usual, if you want to try that out directly after this interview, the link to Alexi Perala's Bandcamp or whichever site we find most suitable will be right underneath this video. So, Greg, where are we catching you right now?
I'm in Long Island, New York. It's summer. It's getting hot out. And I haven't cranked on this AC yet, so I might be sweating a little bit on camera here. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also getting hot out here in Europe. I think we're closing in next week on 35 or 36 degrees, something like that. Wow. It's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah.
So, Greg, the first thing that with a little tongue-in-cheek moment that I would like to ask, you are now a band for 25 years, but you're not the most productive band, right?
No, not by a long shot.
How come? Are you too quickly dissatisfied with what you come up with, or is it just the really high standard that you set for yourself?
Well, for the past record, it's been a high standard. We've toured with a lot of amazing bands, and personally, I've always felt like our material just needs to have another level to it. So we started writing in 2020. Wrote through the whole pandemic. We had the batch of songs ready for a record. And we just wanted to take our time with it. Like we felt like we rushed Mordjul a little bit. So we decided, a new rule in the band is however long it takes is as long as it takes. So we took our sweet time with it. We also, we don't do this for a living. We do this as a hobby. So, we're working, we got girlfriends, wives. And
family, of course. Yeah, yes. That's definitely something.
Yeah.
So we've already mentioned now 25 years as a band, but what is even more striking, if my research is not having me led astray, it's 25 years in the same lineup.
Almost. So not quite.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Fair enough. Mike Fortin was the original guitar player who now has Fortin Amps. He runs that company. He's a good friend of ours. And we had a different drummer, Mike Penna. He was the first drummer before Elliot came in. I think he came in and Elliot joined in 2004 and I joined in 2002. So, but then once the first record came out, then it's just been the same lineup ever since. Yeah. I've known Mike since high school. I've known them since, the 90s. So we're not, going to replace anybody anytime soon.
That's already an indirect answer to my next question. If anybody were ever to leave, out of the four of you, if anybody would ever to leave Car Bomb, could you imagine you guys just saying, okay, that's it for Car Bomb?
Probably. Yeah, probably. Because we all do way different things in the band, I don't know. I can't imagine this band ever surviving like the kind of music we play and the types of personalities that we are. And we all handle different roles in the band. It just covers all the bases between the artwork and the logistics and, keeping things like fun as well. Like, everybody has their own little role in things that makes the band alive and kicking.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. You also sometimes, or not always, but as far as I know, quite frequently do the artwork for the band, right?
99% of the time. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I can see that, everybody apart from the musical input, everybody also has to put on other roles, of course.
Yeah.
However, it's also a way that I've seen that you guys, ever since Car Bomb, not a lot of you have done anything else but Car Bomb, like band-wise, right?
Right. Oh, a little bit, a little bit.
Exactly, a little bit,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
focus seems to be Car Bomb. Is that?
Mhm.
I mean, like, first of all, it's surely because you all like what you're doing, right?
Sure.
But is it also because the music is in a way demanding, for lack of a better word, getting this thing done?
Yeah, the material and the recordings, yes, for sure. Like the writing and even the recording process, it takes quite a while to just all the little, like that extra 5% of just making
Yeah.
sure, like, the tails of the riffs are good, and all the guitar tones are fine, and the mix is good and the mastering's good. That stuff, and then the artwork and the videos and the merch, and then all the finding PR people, all that stuff just adds months to the release. So yeah, we want to try to do everything as independent artists. We try to do everything as right as possible.
That's also something that I would like to come up with. Some of your material, especially the early one, has been released through a label, but for more than a decade now, you've been doing stuff independently. You have worked with labels to sometimes distribute stuff and something like that,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
basically you're a very, very DIY band.
Yeah, for sure.
Is
Yeah.
that because you want to keep control of things?
It's that. It's also because we don't, like you said, we're not the most productive band, so we don't want to put out anything that we feel like we don't love, and we don't want to feel pressured by deadlines. We want the music to speak for itself and be the best it could be. So, however long it needs to for that to ferment, or to come to fruition, that's one of the things that we strongly believe in. So, and plus we know we're not, we know, like, we have like a limit based on of the type of music we play. We're not, I think we're going to reach all of our fans whether we're signed to a label or not. We're not directly opposed to being signed to a label, but I think we'll do just fine with that one.
Yeah, I can see that. And of course, the way you say it, if you are signed to a label, as friendly as they may be, there is ever that one notch after 5, 6 years. So, we need some new stuff. Come on. Yeah, I can see that.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, our Relapse dropped us after our first record because I think it took us 4 years to release W Click W. So, I mean, rightfully so. We had no beef with them whatsoever, and we're still friendly with a lot of those people in that camp. So, no ill like feelings or anything. It's just the way it is, and that's fine with us.
I can see that, but it also shows, at least to me, it shows a lot of integrity to your own work, which is important, I think.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I would hate to feel like we have to make something to put something out or to sell. Like that's just like a dirty term, We'd rather. I mean, our last record was a little more melodic than our previous stuff, and that's because we wanted it to be that way. And it's nice to have that freedom to be able to take things where you want to take them and explore different ideas. And that's one of the things about this band that we all love.
Also, I'm very, very sure it's also one of the things that appeal to a lot of your fans. Like, okay, we can wait, but whatever we were going to get after a couple of years is high quality music. And yeah,
in our eyes, and in our ears, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, also, I would also say in most other people's ears, at least the people who listen to this one, I'm very sure they're very, very happy with it.
Awesome.
I would like, which I not often do, but sometimes, I would like to refer to something that has been said by you, and it's put down in your press release.
Okay.
You are being quoted with, when someone asks me what we sound like, I always ask them, what's the heaviest band you listen to? And then I say it's either 10 times, 100 times, or 1,000 times crazier than that. So, of course, you have to tell me, which bands could you think of that are 10 times less crazy, 100 times less crazy, or 1,000? I'll give you my three so that you have a little moment to think. I'll start from back to front. So I would say Car Bomb is definitely 1,000 times crazier than anything that Slayer or Metallica has ever put out.
Damn. Okay.
When it comes to 100, I would say Primus. And when it comes to 10, I would say, sorry guys, Frontier.
Okay, cool.
So which ones would you take?
Usually, like the 1,000 usually goes to people that don't know anything about heavy music at all. So they usually say like, you ever hear
Kid
of
Rock.
like Imagine Dragon or some shit like that? I'm like, what?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that. 100 times is like the Metallicas, like the Nickelback, that kind of stuff, heavy shit.
Okay.
And then the 10 would be, I don't know. I like the Primus answer. I really like that one, so I'm gonna stick with that one. Yeah, because we're all huge fans of Primus as well, but we think we take it just a little bit further than they do. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Although from a technical level, of course, there is something about Primus that not a lot of people can. Oh no, let's put it like differently. There is something very, very technically appealing about Primus,
especially if you put in the context of when they came out. So like when was Frizzle Fry? That was 90,
91, 92,
91, 92. So that's phenomenal. I mean, all that stuff was for that time. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. And again, from a technical aspect, that these are really good musicians. Nobody can deny that. But when it comes to craziness of music, I think Car Bomb is.
Then again, have you ever listened to the Hamburger Train solo? You know that song on Pork Soda? That's one of the craziest fucking guitar things ever. That is unbelievable. Just like it sounds like alien policemen trying to arrest you and shit. And he goes in a lot of weird spaces. I heard that they locked him up in a warehouse and they got him really stoned and put on a bunch of black lights and just did one take. And it's like trying to find his pedals in the dark and shit. I don't know if that's true, but if that is, that's amazing.
Even if it isn't, the story is just good. That's
yeah. That's what it's going to be from now on. We're going
to so let's go to your band again, and to Car Bomb. And something that I always feel with Car Bomb is, I mean, again, we have highly skilled musicians, and there is a certain level of groove to it. However, especially also on the new record, and especially on, for example, the title track on Tile's Whisper Dreams, I think the groove does not necessarily come from the rhythm section, but a lot through your guitar. Is that something where you say, okay, this is also a way that you use your guitar as a rhythm instrument?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we're all sort of wannabe drummers that aren't Elliot. Elliot is obviously, an amazing drummer. But me, Johnny, and Mike sort of like to mess around with drums a little bit. So we're always thinking of a groove. And I mean, I'm way more of a percussive player than I am a melodic player. So yeah, I mean, a lot of our songs start with the rhythmic idea or the motif or the seed or whatever you call it. And that all comes from like some sort of picking pattern or kick pattern, which to us is one and the same. So yeah, I would agree with you on that the guitar is very rhythmic and the writing is very rhythmic when it comes to guitar.
And then, of course, because of that, it leaves a lot of space for your drummer to sometimes go totally crazy. And, we just did a premiere on our website for Charlie Werber from the Flying Luttenbeckers. And he said a very, very interesting thing. He said, like, at some point, the drums always eat themselves because, they tend to overdo each other. And when listening to your band, there is also something like that. You have, I would say, one of the most underappreciated drummers in metal, because I mean, like the precision that he first of all has, or also the way of getting stuff from one spot to the other within a matter of milliseconds. That's just amazing. Is that something that also is one of the key elements to free other things in your band, to make up space for other things?
I don't know. I mean, when we try to write for drums, like I said, a lot of the rhythmic patterns are syncopated together, but we always try to leave these areas where L can do his own thing, and then he'll just freestyle in the studio. He'll just improvise something, and every fill that he tries is crazier and crazier every single time. So it's always like amazing to see him like one up himself and do something. And that's something that, I'm not really a jazz guy, but he is. He's like a huge jazz head. He loves like Chick Corea and, Alan Holdsworth and all those guys. And his favorite drummer is Vinnie Colaiuta. So we always got to give him opportunity to kind of throw a little bit of jazziness in there.
Yeah. That, the way that you describe it, it makes even more sense, right? Yeah, I can see, and now understand that a little more. You've already spoken about the songwriting. How do we have to envision the songwriting for Car Bomb? Is it one person comes up with an idea? Is it like a democratic process? How does it work?
It used to be we would all mess around in a room together and come up with stuff. For the first couple of records, that was the process. More so, it's mostly me. Elliot writes a couple of things here and there, but normally I'm doing the riff writing, the drumming, writing, and the arrangement and all that stuff. Once the music's done, Mike gets it and he puts his thing to it. And then we do a couple of back and forth sessions of just trying different ideas and him exploring different areas. And then usually when that happens, we're always tweaking things at the last minute a little bit. Like for this record, there was a lot of guitar noodling that I tried and a lot of different tail. The example I always think of is Enter Sandman, where it's like that tail. And that was like a key part of the riff. So I try to experiment a lot with those, like just trying different notes, trying different ways to tie the riff at the end into the next riff. Mm-hmm. So, and that was, we could do that to the very last until the mix is pretty much done. So we were doing a lot of that. But sometimes stuff comes together really easily too. Like there's one song, Finish It, off of W Click W, that was written in a day. So sometimes it takes 3 years, sometimes it takes 2 seconds.
Can you say, out of the 3 tracks that we are getting now, which one took the longest and which one was the shortest to make?
The shortest was the title track, Tiles Was for Dream. That was so we were making a record and we have another 8 songs that we're going to put out hopefully next year. But they needed more time to cook. And I was just like, I had this other demo that was laying around before Elliot started recording the drums back in 2003. And I was like, let's just see if we can sneak this in. And that song it's one of our stream of conscious songs where it's not really structured like a, A, B part, C part, whatever. It's more just a stream of thought type of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that one came really quickly. The hardest one, I think, was Blindsides, because that one has I don't know. It's hard to explain that one, because that song is sort of like accumulation of everything we do, but structured in a new way. So it was really just to get it for the two, the beginning and the end to connect together, was sort of like if you dig like a tunnel from 2 ends and you try to connect, sometimes they don't connect and you have to change and you have to go back and sort of redig from a different angle or something. We had to do that a couple of times for that particular track.
And then when does Mike come in with his lyrics? Is it very early in the process? Is it a little later? How do we have to think about it?
He gets an impression of the music, and if he just, whatever comes in his head, he'll spit it out and put it on. He works really quickly as far as getting that first iteration out. And then, but then usually I'll have some ideas that I want to try, or there's maybe structurally I was envisioning this part just being music or vice versa. So we'll do a couple of sessions back and forth. And we also worked with Joe Duplantier from Gojira, and he helped us do some pre-pro for Blindsides as well, because that song in particular, that's going to be on the record as well. So that's going to come out next year. Mm-hmm. So we really wanted to make that song shine as bright as possible.
Is that also a reason why it's the opener, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah. But it will be the second single that comes out, because we thought the first signal would be just more pulverizing. The next Blindsides is a little more creative, strange.
So as Joe with Gojira played at the Olympics last year, so you're going to do the opening ceremony for Football World Cup, Soccer World Cup.
Absolutely. You heard it here first. There you go. That'd be amazing.
I mean, as much as I love soccer, I just simply hate Infantino, the guy who's running the FIFA. But it's very interesting to hear. So when you already said parts of this record were recorded in 2023. Then we have to ask, if parts of it were already recorded 2 years ago, why does it still take 2 years, or why does it take 6 years?
Yeah, I get it. We work slow. That's the only answer. Is it's mostly on the bottleneck usually. So I like to take my time. Another thing too is when you work on something for so long, like it's like you don't hear it anymore. Like you need like time away from it as
That's what I
well.
wanted to ask. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need, yeah, you need
You
time to
gotta let it.
reflect upon it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Plus, I have another electronic music project, so I was doing that for a while. I did some work with Ben Frost. We did a whole bunch of shows last year, so that delayed some of the process as well. There's other stuff I'm working on, and one day, one weekend, someone has a project they got to do, or this weekend, someone's girlfriend's sick. There's always something.
Family reunion, something like that.
Yeah, always something pops up. Yeah.
Yeah. You've just mentioned, other things that you've been doing. Does that also help you to, when you work on Car Bomb, to focus, not to go too crazy and say like, okay, we got to get this ambient thing in there somewhere?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think more so now. I think with Morgil, like, we really liked how Gratitude sounded, so we really wanted to like sort of expand our sound a little bit and add more like soundscapes and melodic elements.
Yeah.
And I think those areas sort of broke off into other projects that I'll be working on.
Mm-hmm.
And Car Bomb will return. I mean, they'll have some elements of that, but I think for the most part, Car Bomb will return more to like the heavier stuff of like W Click W and Meta, and maybe some more of the blastier stuff of Centralia.
Funny that you mentioned Centralia. I looked it up because I looked at it once again and I was like, what does it remind me of? Is it referring to that city, I think in Pennsylvania, that is still burning after 30, 40, 50 years?
Yeah, I think Mike lived close to there, and that's why we just like, yeah, it sounds metal. Let's do that.
Yeah, it's a crazy idea, but they still are not able to turn that fire out. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a very cool story. Cool is also somehow your love for classic metal-related covers. You have shirts that look like Morbid Angel, Def Leppard, Santa Cruz Skating Company.
Yeah.
Which one will be next? By the way, did I miss something?
What I really want to do, I want to do Cinderella. I don't really like the band Cinderella, but that like pink logo? That has a C in the beginning. I'm like, that'd be perfect. But the other guys are like, yeah, maybe not.
And there is one that I'm very sure it's also an homage to a metal band, but I just can't figure it out. It's Car Bomb in a very gray bluish, not font but color, and it reminds me of one of those 80s metal band. But is there another one that I'm missing? I can also look it up on your Bandcamp.
Maybe. Oh, there's a Champion shirt, but that's not a metal band. We do a lot of those brand ripoff things until we get the cease and desist letters.
Give me a second. I'll look it up.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think I'm very sure, but I've already seen that today. It's the Space Monster.
Oh, okay.
Is that lettering? Did you take that from somewhere?
No, that's a new logo. So that's actually sort of a tweak of our original, not our original logo, but our last logo with the geometric shapes. It's sort of an evolution to that. So instead of adding the curve of the C, it was more of a diamond shape.
Yeah, I know.
Drawing diamonds, and I made that. I mean, I like there's one shirt that has a new one. I think it's the octopus head one, and I think that one has a logo that it's a homage to this Arkanoid video game from the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, that one has it. So yeah, I mean, like we all grew up in the 80s, so we love those styles of logos, like the Def Leppard album covers, like geometric shapes, primary colors, all that type of stuff. Like that's our jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see the 80s thing, yes.
Of course. But also like 90s warp era like artwork from Design Republic, like Aphex Twin, Autechre, all that stuff.
Yeah, the triangle yellow shirt looks a lot like Warp.
Totally, yeah. I mean, their stuff is incredible. Yeah.
Not only visually, but most important, musically, right?
Absolutely.
Is that something that you listen to? I'm like, we've already seen the Portishead Cup. Ooh, okay.
Yeah. That's something we all have in common. We all love like Aphex Twin, Bjork, Autechre, all that fun stuff. Yeah, that's why. I mean, because electronic music, I mean, it's so ubiquitous now, but back when it came out, not to sound like, you know, I'm not dating myself here, but when it came out like in the mid to late 90s, like it was a whole new sound and it was
Of
amazing
course.
to hear all
Yeah.
that stuff. And the stuff was just it's like all the way Richard put out all new stuff, like, you know, the ambient records, the really fast jungle shit, the chiller stuff, even the stuff he puts out now, it's always different. And I think that's something we try to strive for too, even though, you know, we always wear influences on our sleeve, obviously, like Meshuggah and the Deftones and stuff like that. But we always still try to make songs different in some way to bring something new. And I think that's important for artists to do.
There is something that I would like to ask when we were already talking about influences. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is some kind of New York hardcore influence to Car Bomb, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
So then, of course, I have to ask, are we talking about the very early hardcore stuff like Gnostic Front or even a little in the middle? Or are we talking stuff like Sick of It All, the 90s stuff?
Talking more like Lil Allen stuff. For me, it was this band called Neglect. Just they grooved. It was just like metal riffs that grooved. And that just struck it for me. And then my buddy Liam, who played in Dillinger and now is playing with In Flames, he got me in his band. I think they're from Kentucky. I forget. But Coalesce. You ever hear of Coalesce?
Yes, we did. Very nice that you give me a chance to once again drop one of our interviews a few weeks ago. We had an interview with Sean Ingram about his new band.
Oh, awesome. That's great. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what's his new band?
Idle Heirs.
Idle Heirs?
Idle and Heirs, like the one who inherits something.
Gotcha.
It's not hardcore in the hardcore sense. It's more like post-metal, but it's really, really well done. And it shows that the guy can simply sing. You know, in Coalesce, you normally didn't notice. I mean, like they have one acoustic track on one of those strange punk goes acoustic things from the early zeros. And there you could already hear that. But when you listen to Idle Heirs, yeah, he can really sing. Really, really well done.
Definitely looking to checking that out.
Yeah.
But so back to the hardcore thing, like it's those oddities. I mean, normal hardcore doesn't really do it for me. Like it's more of the stranger bands or the little niche ones. And when I heard Functioning on Impatience by Coalesce, like that was like the way that those tempo changes came out of nowhere. And there was song structure and weird guitar sounds. I'm like, that's the sound. I've been trying to hunt that ever since. Yeah, and also something that they, of course, have in common with Car Bomb in a way that they never followed the regular verse, chorus, verse thing. You know, like that's, of course, also not your usual cup of tea. No. But they had hooks. I mean, that again, Functioning on Impatience, like there were parts where it was like it was a guitar, like the wah riff, the wow, catchy as fuck, you know? Yeah. Great. But it's interesting that you say there are parts, you know, and that is also something that, of course, relates to Car Bomb. There are moments on, for example, also on some of the new stuff where it just grooves like hell, but it lasts for like 10, 20 seconds, and then on to the next one. Yep. Yeah. We always try to make the heaviest riff like only last like 3 seconds. That's like another rule, the secret rule of the band. Like there's this one riff in XOXOY, one off the last record. Yeah. It's like this weird displacement thing that L does, and we're all playing. It leads up to it, but it only plays once. And if we looped it, you know, maybe we'd have a little more success. But we were like, no, let's not do that. Yeah, but again, with success comes expectations, right? Exactly. Yeah. I have 2 more questions before we come to the infamous quickfire round at the end. One is, a few years ago, you have done one split record with Burned by the Sun. Long time ago. Yeah. I'm not asking why it never came to another one with any other band, but if you could choose one band to do one split record with, which one would you take? Personally or from the band? Both. To put some pressure on you and your bandmates. Yes, exactly. I'll speak for everybody else. You know, they're not here to defend themselves. I would think of the band Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum. I think that's like a band that we all really respect and would love to do something with. Okay. Me personally, I always want to work with Shit, that's a good question. I'm gonna say Johnny Greenwood. I always say Johnny Greenwood. I would love to work with that motherfucker. I love his stuff. Yeah. Like between like the Radiohead stuff and the soundtrack stuff,
and also the Smile.
And the Smile too, which I haven't really gotten deep into, but I need to. But I don't know, man. Like just the way he approaches songwriting and guitar and sound and arrangement, like to do some weird out of left field soundscapey thing together, or that would be my dream.
Yeah, and also to make stuff work. Again, first of all, don't giving anything on expectations. I mean, like look at the transition between OK Computer and Kid A.
Yeah.
I still remember buying that record, and I was like, I put it in the CD player, I played it, and I was like, must be wrong band.
Yeah.
Took it out again.
Yeah. There's only one song
I first thought it was an Uncle record where once again Tom York was singing on it.
Yeah. That's good. That one track is awesome on that Uncle record.
Rabbit in a Headlight.
Yeah. Really, really good shit. And that's where they learn the pyramid song trick, right? Where they start like it's in one time signature and then it morphs into another. Yeah. That's cool.
And Rabbit in a Headlight has one of the most amazing videos ever.
Yes. Yeah. Incredible, man. Yeah, they can do no wrong. They're great.
And the other thing that I would like to ask, and here we already come back to some things that we've already said, but would you be offended if I compared your music to an onion? Wait, because it has so much stuff to peel back.
Okay, sure.
Is that important for you that your listeners at the 10th, 20th, 30th spin are still able to discover new shit?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's the best part of like listening to a new Meshuggah record is going, oh, it's like the same rhythmic part here, but they added new notes over there. Like, that's the kind of stuff that gets me excited. So we try to plant little seeds like that everywhere. And yeah, for sure. That's like a good movie. Like I recently watched Blazing Saddles for the first time in like a long time. And, you know, when I watched it, I was a kid. I didn't know, understand half of it. But to go back and like just to be able to go in and understand all those obscure jokes, like that's such a joy, So we try to make something that has a little more than just like, okay, you gave us 3 minutes and that's it. We want to give something that will like repeatedly give things to people as they listen to it more.
That is also interesting because in music that happens often, in movies a little less, and with books it happens very rarely. There are a few books that I've read a couple of times in my lifetime, and the one where I discovered most with every new read was The Name of a Rose. I mean, like, first of all, being a history teacher, that always appealed to me.
Okay.
But with every time I reread that book, it's just amazing. And I think that is something that is easier for music because you can play with the time level and with the four-dimensionality that a book or a movie just doesn't have. Music has that. And you can hide lots of things. That's something that you own.
No, I was going to say, you can hide shapes. You can hide like different patterns and callbacks. And there's so many ways you can like refer to one pattern that exists in one thing and another and stretch it or bend it and those little changes, hopefully, like, I don't know, like, I got really into, I've always been really into, but during the process, I really got into Gustav Holst's The Planets, you know, that piece of music. So like, that is like, just like a masterclass of like taking one idea and just stretching the shit out of it, like in 1,000 different directions. And, again, that's another piece of music. Like you hear it again, you're like, oh, that's that little piece that was in the beginning. And now it's this instrument's playing it at a higher register. And like that kind of stuff gets me. I'm getting excited just talking about it. And like, that's the kind of stuff that we try to do.
Yeah. And that's also the kind of stuff that keeps you coming back to a band, coming back to a record. I was just fortunate enough to see Radiohead, 9 Inch Nails yesterday, and it was
nice,
revealing once again to see how much stuff they were able to disguise and not give you on the first listen. It's just amazing. And then to see that live, that was even more breathtaking.
Did they have that set up in the center? I saw like some video yesterday, and they had like a setup. What was like they had modular synths in the center, and did they transition to a stage after that? Like, how did that work?
Yeah, it was very interesting. So first of all, they had the opening act was a DJ, and he was playing on one end of the arena, and in the middle they already had the station where the first, I think, three tracks were done by Resner. First two even completely alone, just him and the keyboards.
Right.
Crazy stuff. And then he was joined by Atticus Ross and the bass player. And afterwards, after I think one or two songs, they moved to the main stage. And the main stage was a little further back, and they also played again with curtains, with little soft curtains, something like a mosquito net or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And they had 3 or 4 of that, and that it was the projections were just amazing.
Yeah. I saw them play like in '90, whenever the Downward Spiral came out, and
94.
Like, Hurt came out in '94. Thank you. And they had that screen that in front of the whole stage.
Yeah.
And they projected just the craziest fucking shit to go with those music, man. It was great.
Yeah, and that's something where you say like, okay, if you can spend so much time on doing shit like that, then okay, you made it. I mean, like somebody who has 2 Academy Awards, should be able to do stuff like that.
I hope so.
So, Greg, first of all, thanks for the insight into the new record. For everybody, again, upcoming Friday, we get Tiles Whisper Dreams, the first free new car bomb track in 6 years since Mordial. Amazing stuff, free tracks, a little under 12 minutes if I counted it correctly in my little stupid head. Really, really good shit. I really like that. But as usual, nobody leaves the Veil of Sound interview without going through the infamous quickfire round at the end and giving you a little tongue-in-cheek first couple. Which song would you rather listen to right now? Tracy Chapman's Fast Car or Rage Against the Machine's Bump track?
Oh, fuck. It'd be weird to say I really like both those songs.
Well, yeah, car, bump.
Yeah. Right now, I would say Bomb Track.
Yeah, it fits more to the mood of America in 2025.
Wow, Fast Car is like, I don't know, like the story behind that song, like, and like how she performed it, like that's just incredible. That's so incredible. Like, literally just filled in for who the fuck is she filling for?
I don't remember who, but I still remember what you're talking about. For everybody who doesn't know it, she was the one who played the Mandela concert twice. The only one, and crazy. I mean, like, in some ways, that shitty Luke Bryan cover, of course, ruined it for a lot of people. It took me some time to get that one out of my head. But I'm very, very happy that that's one of the songs that my daughter also likes a lot.
Oh, nice.
I can see that.
That's cool.
You are going on tour with Between the Buried and Me in August over here in Europe. So I'll give you 2 records by Between the Buried and Me. And you have to choose between Colors and The Parallax.
Colors, that's the one. Yeah, the first, like that opening sequence just gets me every time, man. The way it builds, and then the death metal shit drops in, and then the breakdown. There you go.
We've been talking about New York hardcore, so I'll give you Sick of It All versus Biohazard.
Biohazard, yeah. Heavy shit, man. Punishment, is that the song?
Yeah, that's one of those.
Punishment. Oh, massive. Yeah, it's good shit.
And as you have that nice tattoo on your shoulder, I'll give you 2 FX Twin records. The Richard D. James record versus Select Ambient Works.
Oh, that's an impossible question to answer. It depends on the mood.
Okay, I mean, right
now I'm feeling energetic about talking about music, so I'm going to say RDJ for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but Selected Ambient Works is my favorite record of Aphex Twin by far. The second one or the first one?
Now you nailed me. I think it's the second, but everybody will now probably look it up and be like, "Oh, you don't know shit. It's the first one."
Is it the white one, or is it the one that looks like it's like a found alien artifact? Like
no. I think it's white.
It's the white one. That's the classic one. That one's great too.
Portishead. I'll give you Dummy versus the self-titled one.
The self-titled one.
For
It's
me
a little
too.
stranger. Yeah, yeah. But I think third is phenomenal too. So I don't know.
For
Like
me, it's
third has
easy.
like the darkest, weirdest shit on there, you know?
Yeah, and it's also got the. I think there is no record that I've ever listened to that has a colder sound than Fur.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
like,
The way
it's
it starts,
so unemotional, intentionally unemotional. It's
yeah.
weird.
Especially Machine Gun. Like that song is just
Yeah.
the
But
dumbest, simplest thing, and it just works. It's amazing. So
yeah,
cool.
for me it would also, but for me it would also be self-titled because that's the record that I saw them touring for.
Oh, nice.
Meshuggah,
Uh-huh.
Obscene versus Destroy, Erase, Improved.
Obzen. That's the
Obscene.
one. That's the
Yeah.
one. Yeah. That's when they like just I mean, Destroy Race Improve is great. And that's the the gateway drug into Meshuggah.
Yeah.
Like Elliot, actually the reason why we're, friends is because we used to jam together in different bands in a recording area.
Is it true that you came together under a butcher's shop?
Yes, that's where our jam space was. So we'd hear Elliot fucking doing his thing and we're like, Jesus Christ, we got to get him as a drummer one day. But he let me borrow his Destroy Race Improve tape. And I still have it somewhere. I don't know if I could find it, but it's around here somewhere. And but Obzen is like, that's when they just nailed their sound. There's no sleeper on that one. Like completely doing odd, weird shit. Like, nothing is a groovy thing. And they, invented the whole new sound with that. But Obzen, they really refined it.
Which band would you rather watch right now? Cult Leader or Gaza?
Cult Leader, because we know those motherfuckers and they're awesome.
Yeah, and you also know Gaza, right? Because most of them are.
Yeah.
Cool. And if you were to play a gig tonight, would you rather play opening for Intronaut or for Converge?
Can we do both?
Nope. You got to.
Oh man, that's fucked up.
No, we're not talking about the Toronto guys. No.
Shit. I gotta say Converge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gotta do it.
I got two more. The first one is a little fun thing. The second one is a little more, more normal. Which team would you rather fight? Would you rather write a fight song for? the New York Rangers or the New York Islanders?
The Islanders, because they're a little bit closer to me where I live. So to work with them and team would be a little, let's do that one.
Yeah, but a fight song by Carbomb, that would be amazing. That would give the NHL a totally new thing.
Yeah, and plus I've seen so many concerts in Nassau Coliseum as a kid. Like I'd love to hear that through the system through Nassau Coliseum. That'd be slick.
Yeah, but they're not playing at Nassau anymore, aren't they? Playing Barclays Center?
Are they?
I'm not sure, but I think
I don't know. I haven't really been following hockey in a while, but
yeah, of course. Why should you as a New Yorker?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Last one, and I know you like and love both bands, but which one would you rather listen to right now, Sectioned or Frontiera?
Fuck, I'm gonna say Section because I haven't heard it in a while. So now that you mentioned that you're excited about it, I want to go back and hear it again. Check it out.
Yeah. So for everybody, please check out Sectioned. Also listen to some Alexi Perala stuff. But Friday, listen to the new Carbomb. Greg, thanks for your time. Thanks for your cool answers. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
That was great, man. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your day too, man. All right. Enjoy, man.